players you liked growing up or the guy your dad swore was the greatest ever. Today we're going to be looking for the 4
quarterbacks. I'm going to see Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I better see Drew Brees. Please give Drew Brees some respect this video. I got to see at least 2 Saints on this video, bro. Not gonna lie.
best players at every position who defined the game and left the sport permanently changed. We're going position by position, from the offense to the defense and the specialists in between. We're going to be starting with the most important position here, and that's quarterback. The debate about who goes on Mount Rushmore for QB.
I'm going to guess his list right here. I'm going to say at 1 he has Tom Brady. I'm going to say at 2 he has either Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes. You got to have Patrick Mahomes in there. You say what you want about Patrick Mahomes, bro. He finna be one of them ones in the next 5-10 years. He already is, bro. The nigga going some Tom Brady shit right now. Granted, he didn't go 3 back-to-back-to-back. He almost did. And that's crazy. It's not easy to win a Super Bowl in the NFL, my nigga. It's not at all. So, he might have Patrick Mahomes up here. I'm not gonna lie.
B's never really.
The third, you could put anybody in that third.
Ends. Tom Brady is a name that most people put at the very top of the GOAT debate, and the numbers make that an easy case to defend. He has 7 Super Bowl titles and 10 total appearances. When he was 43 years old, he went to Tampa Bay with a new team in a new city and still managed to win the whole thing. Brady spent 2 decades in New England winning with different teammates and different versions
and that's
of
crazy.
As a passer. He wasn't the most physically gifted quarterback on this list, but his ability to process the game and avoid the mistakes that end seasons was something that we'd never seen before. He has the most passing yards in history, passing touchdowns, wins, Super Bowl wins, and appearances, along with Super Bowl MVPs, and like 20 other awards. When we talk about the GOAT debate, it starts and ends with him. Joe Montana is next up, and the thing is, Montana played the position in a way.
You see, I never really got tapped into the old school people. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I watched Jerry Rice. I probably watched a little bit of Shannon Sharp, Ray Lewis, a few of them. But like, if he wasn't really on my team, bro, I wasn't really paying too much attention. But I'm aware of this nigga's greatness. I'm aware of all the stuff he accomplished. I'm aware of all that. So I'm not gonna be oblivious to that shit. Joe Montana was that nigga.
So smooth, it built his nickname, Joe Cool. He ran the West Coast offense for Bill Walsh.
Yo, look at them bucket helmets they used to have.
Football system and more like
ain't that crazy?
Time dance. He made 4 Super Bowls and walked away with 4 wins, and he didn't throw a single interception across all 4 of those games. The entire modern passing game, including the timing routes and the short throws you see every team run now, traces a direct line back to what Montana was doing in San Francisco during the 1980s. Before Tom Brady came along, Joe was looked at as the standard for the position. Peyton Manning has a spot up here as well, and his case is built on something else entirely.
Respect that for sure.
Where Montana played the position with beauty, Peyton took it apart at the line of scrimmage before the ball was even snapped. He finished his career with 5.
Like, Peyton Manning and Drew Brees is right there. You could swap either one of those for me. And it hits different too, because we beat them in the Super Bowl. So, I don't know, man. I feel like if you gave the Saints a better situation, we would have had probably 2 or 3 more rings with Drew. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as much as motherfuckers want to call me biased, I don't think I'm biased at all, bro. It was facts. We were supposed to have another ring at least, especially against the Rams, dog.
MVPs, which is more than anyone else in history. He changed how quarterbacks process information by turning the pre-snap read into its own art form, and he forced every defense in the league to change how they communicated just to slow him down. Payne ended his career with more regular season wins than anyone at the time, and he did it against modern defenses that were built specifically to stop him. He broke the touchdown passing record that Dan Marino held for over 30 years in 2004. Then he broke it again in 2013. He won Super Bowls in Indianapolis and Denver as 2 completely different types of players, which is basically a career in 2 acts that both deserve to be on its own wall. Patrick Mahomes is the only active player here.
I knew it. Bro, he's a dog, bro. Patrick Mahomes is like that. Like him or you hate him. This nigga's like that. He could end up being better than Tom. It's still a possibility. He could come out and win 3 Super Bowls. He could catch up to this nigga. It's a possibility. I'm not even a Chiefs fan, but I see greatness when I see it.
and putting him here is not just recency bias. He's already had 3 Super Bowl titles by the time he hit 30 and 2 MVP awards in his trophy case. His career passer rating of 100.8 is one of the highest we've ever seen. His yards per game at 285.2 is the highest of all time. Pat does things with the football that doesn't even fit inside a normal evaluation. He makes off-platform throws that arrive exactly on time, no-look passes, and he creates plays that defensive coordinators study on film but still can't stop. His first full year as a starter in 2018 resulted in 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, which didn't look like a debut at all. He was the youngest to win the MVP award at the time he won his first one. It looked like a player who already knew everything there was to know about the league. The case is still being built for him to be the GOAT, but he's done enough to be carved in stone. The 4 quarterbacks on this wall represent 4 different versions of how to play the position.
No Drew Brees. For me, you could swap out Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. You could swap them out if you want. Just swap them, rotate them out. It don't matter to me. People always gonna have Drew like not respected because he don't got as much rings, but it's all good.
Now the quarterback has to throw to somebody, so let's talk about who's on the other end of those passes.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name.
W-ad, right? Or L-ad? Which one? God. Okay, wide receivers.
Don't need a
Let's
long
go.
speech to prove his greatness. He finished with
22,895
yards and
I
197
figured.
touchdowns.
Dog.
Those records have sat untouched for so long, they stopped feeling like milestones and started feeling like permanent fixtures of the sport. What the numbers don't show is the obsession behind the work. Like how Jerry ran routes in the offseason until his feet bled. He trained in the California hills while his teammates were home resting. And that gap between Rice and everybody else wasn't just physical. It was the product of a standard he set for himself that nobody else.
Jerry Rice wasn't even the fastest guy either. I think he just, his ability to run routes, especially during this time, it was elite. So he just would stretch the field without even being the fastest motherfucker on the field. Plus, he had good hands.
Was willing to match. Randy Moss is an argument for the physical ability.
Fucking demon.
As a force of nature.
I don't know what the fuck that was. I thought I heard some shit. Fuck.
He was 6'4" with sprinter speed and hands that made impossible catches look routine, which forced defensive coordinators to build game plans around him before the snap even happened. His rookie season was maybe the best we've ever seen from any rookie in NFL history, along with his 2007 season with New England, which produced 23 receivers.
Yeah, man. Randy Moss was fast though. He just had that athletic, tall nigga like, I'ma really stretch the field, just throw that motherfucker up. Literally, they call the shit Moss because of this nigga.
Touchdowns, and it's still the record for a single season. Moss didn't just beat coverages, he made the whole idea of coverage feel pointless. In the same
I'm cool with that.
The most controversial person here so far,
Calvin Johnson. Hey man, why they showing all these Saints players fucking getting stiff armed and shit? Come on, bro.
Version of that argument taken to its absolute extreme.
Hey, Megatron, that nigga.
His 2012 season produced 1,964 receiving yards, and that single season record still stands today. He set it on a Lions team that gave opposing defenses very little else to worry about. So those numbers came against double teams in full attention. Calvin retired after 9 seasons with yards still left on his body, and the league has spent every year since looking for somebody built like him who can also run and catch like him. And so far, nobody has shown up. Lastly is a man out in the desert. Larry Fitzgerald.
Some people might say DK Metcalf, but DK Metcalf is not as good as Megatron. I'll say that right now.
Fitzgerald played 17 seasons at a level that made consistency look like a.
Fitzgerald, I'm cool with that.
He made 11 Pro Bowls and
I could rock with that.
17,492 receiving yards over his long career. His 2008 playoff run was legendary as he posted 546 yards and 7 TDs in just 4 games. He dragged Arizona within just a few minutes of a Super Bowl title that year. Larry ran the sharpest routes of his generation and caught everything going near him without ever complaining about his role, finishing his career with more tackles than drops. That kind of greatness just doesn't make any sense. Tight ends got to get their own love as well. Shannon Sharpe was the prototype for the modern era. Before Sharpe came along,
Shannon Sharpe, Shay, Mama Shell. Said, boy,
Long, tight ends were mostly blockers who occasionally caught short passes over the middle. He ran routes like a wide receiver and
Yeah, why they just show Makai Lemon?
Occasionally caught short passes over the middle. He ran routes like a wide receiver and created mismatches that defenses weren't built to handle.
Yeah.
3 Super Bowl rings in the process. Every receiving tight end in the game today is running a route that Sharp helped design. Tony Gonzalez took that
That's Coach Shannon
blueprint and ran with it for 17 incredible seasons. He finished with
I'm cool with this too.
25 career catches.
Honestly, if I don't see Jimmy Graham up here, bro, come on. Jimmy Graham, he gotta be up here.
And 14 Pro Bowls as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Tony G showed that a tight end could be the most reliable pass catcher on the field every single week, regardless of who was playing quarterback. He proved the position could anchor an offense the way no tight end had ever done before. Then Rob Gronkowski redefined what the position could do in the red zone and at the point of attack. He's a model tight end blocking and receiving wise. His 2011 season produced 17 receiving touchdowns, which is still the record for a tight end. He was a great enough blocker to line up at fullback and a receiver good enough to draw top cornerbacks in coverage. That specific combination of power and skill simply hadn't existed before he stepped onto the field. Travis Kelce is the current standard for everyone else as a receiver.
I don't like this. Kelce is that nigga, bro, but greatness, dog. Jimmy Graham, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. We still got some. Wow, bro. That's crazy.
Straight 1,000-yard seasons at one point and holds the record for the most playoff catches in NFL history. He's a player opposing coordinators spent close to a decade worrying about the most, yet he still found a way to show up at the end of games. But pass catchers aren't the only way to score. Sometimes you just got.
They're pressing. They're pressing. Oh my Gemini!
If match, strike it.
Please stop giving me ads.
Attention.
To hand the rock off. Running back is a position where this debate gets pretty heated.
All right, running back.
Not with this first guy. Jim Brown played 9 seasons.
Jim
and led
Brown.
the NFL in rushing for 8 of them.
I feel like this one about to be straight historic niggas.
The level of
like,
dominance we just don't see anymore.
People I didn't even.
He retired at 29 years old while he was still
Jesus Christ! What the hell did I just say? This is gonna be a bunch of people I'd never even watch, bro.
Peak of his powers, finishing with 12,312 yards and 3 MVP
I bet you
awards.
the next one finna be Bo Jackson or some
And
shit.
his last happening in his final year. The numbers are extraordinary, but they don't fully capture what made Brown different on the field. He weighed 230 pounds and ran like someone who decided physics only applied to other people. Defenders didn't bring him down cleanly, and usually they just slowed him down enough for help to arrive. Jim set the physical standard for what a running back could demand from a defense, and nobody who came after him moved like that. Walter Payton was a complete back who could do everything on the field. Over 16 seasons,
that boy a god, man. No, that boy's a god, man.
Maine died in Pro Bowls. But the number that actually tells the story is how many of those yards came while he was carrying a Bears team that gave him almost no help. Walter blocked, he caught passes out of the backfield, and he even threw a handful of touchdown passes during his career. He wasn't just a runner, he was the entire offense for long stretches of Chicago's history, and he handled that weight without ever making it look like a burden. His longevity and consistency at the highest level of the game is what put him up here, without any real serious argument. He won the Super Bowl in 1985 towards the tail end of his career, but he was still second in MVP voting that season. The person he passed the torch to was another player wearing
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders put up 15,269 rushing yards on
this don't surprise me at all. I'd be genuinely shocked that like the most recent person we might see up here is probably like Adrian Peterson or something like that.
Lions team that only made the playoffs 4 times in his 10 seasons. He did it mostly alone without a dominant offensive line or a passing game that could stretch the field. What Sanders had was instinct and footwork that made defenders look like they were guessing, which they were because no one knew where he was going next. He put together 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons and retired second on the all-time list with plenty of gas left in the tank, along with rushing for 2,000 yards in his second to last season while winning MVP in the process. The eye test argument for Barry says he's the best to ever do it in my opinion, but I'll leave that argument up to y'all. Lastly, for running backs, I was going to let my Eagles bias go against them, but I decided against it. Emmitt Smith holds their all-time rushing record at 18,000.
I'm not surprised, bro. Straight historic, like I said.
He took home the MVP in 1993.
Like, what these niggas did for, like, the time, too, when it was, like, a mainly run offense, they was dominating like a motherfucker, bro. And it was like years and years and years they kept on doing this shit. So, yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm not shocked.
winning the Super Bowl MVP that season, and played for another decade at the position that typically wears down bodies faster than any other position. Some people claim he just benefited from that great Dallas offensive line, but that criticism doesn't hold up with his full career. Smith kept producing well into his 30s, and he kept finding yards and winning games long after others would have quit. The running backs needed someone to open those holes for him though, so let's get to the men who made that possible. The offensive line is a position
offensive line
can actually succeed or fail, and the people in
I'm interested to see what he got right here
to ever do it. Anthony Munoz played 13 seasons in Cincinnati and made 11
because the
Pro
trenches
Bowls
is a position a lot of motherfuckers don't pay attention to, bro. But these niggas is important. Without an offensive line, you're not able to do nothing, bro. So I want to see what he got up here, because I don't pay attention to offensive linemen unless they like that for real. Like, I know about linemen around the NFL that's not on my team, but you got to be a dog though.
Having made 9 first-team All-Pros in 10 years.
To get known as an offensive tackle, you got to be like that for motherfuckers to know he is.
Both sides of the job description for tackle. He was a pass blocker who could mirror elite defensive ends in space, but he was also a run blocker whose leverage and footwork created lanes that simply didn't exist until he made them. The consensus among coaches and historians is that nobody has ever played the position better. John Hannah spent 13 seasons in New England, and the team never had a losing record when he was healthy enough to play a full schedule. Sports Illustrated even put him on the cover back in 1981 and called him the best offensive lineman to ever play the game.
Will Campbell need to look at this.
He earned 7
Go watch that film.
first-team All-Pro selections.
Yo, these jerseys. Damn, he just pancaked that nigga. The Patriots jerseys fire. Even the Saints jerseys, like our old vintage shit. These shits look clean.
That usually doesn't draw any attention unless something goes horribly wrong. Hannah's job was to pull on sweeps and hold the interior against massive nose tackles while giving a quarterback a clean pocket. He did all of that at a standard nobody at his position could match for an entire generation. Bruce Matthews played 19 seasons and lined up at every single spot on the offensive line at some point in his career. Whether it was at center, guard, or tackle, he started games.
Hey, I'm not even from Houston, but I got a lot of people that live in Houston. They did these niggas so wrong not letting them keep their colors, bro. Why is these the Titans uniforms? These the Houston Oilers, man. Come on, dog. Come on.
At all 5 positions and earned.
Then they made U of H switch. Like, I don't even think they can rock these colors no more. This is Houston colors, bro. Come on, dog.
14 Pro Bowl nods across that entire span. The durability argument alone would put him here, but when you add in the versatility and the fact that he blocked for teammates who made their own Pro Bowls because of his work, the case is almost impossible to argue against. Jason Kelce retired as the modern definition of what a center is supposed to be in today's game, aging like absolute fine wine. He earned 6 first-team All-Pro selections and served as the engine for a Philadelphia offense that won 1 Super Bowl and fought its way to another before he retired. Kelce processed defenses faster than any coverage could shift, and he communicated protection adjustments in a spread system that demanded total precision at the line of scrimmage. He physically outlasted nose tackles who outweighed him by 50 pounds and changed how teams think about the center position in the pass-first league. His film from the last decade is what young players study to understand what the job looks like when it gets done right. These 4 players don't get any flashy highlight reels you see from other positions. Nobody builds a viral video around a pull block or a pass set. But every long run and clean pocket on this list traces back to someone doing exactly what these men did.
Okay, great.
Very important position.
Wait,
in the meantime, gang, I don't care about your fucking AI ad shit, bro. Come on, bro. Stop.
Pass rushers and then the interior defensive linemen.
All right, edge pass rushers
first. Lawrence Taylor changed the way football was played. And
once again, bro, what's with all these Saints players? You getting all these highlights on us? What the hell we did?
He was a linebacker, but I'm not going to be doing linebackers like him. I'm just going to be doing middle linebackers, but you'll see that in the next section. So, whatever. Opposing coaches started paying left tackles
I'm cool with this,
money specifically because of what LT was doing to the
LT was a dog.
Sunday. He won the NFL MVP in 1986 as a defensive player, putting up
even these jerseys,
sacks
bro.
that season.
These vintage jerseys look crazy.
That has gone to quarterbacks and running backs exclusively for every year since, meaning no other defensive player has won it since LT did. The argument that someone else in the league was more valuable was simply impossible to make at the time he was playing. His combination of speed and instinct at outside linebacker created a position
So that TV quality used to look crazy.
Answers for 40 years later. J.J. Watt won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards in 4 seasons, from 2012 to 2015, which is something nobody else has done at the position before him. He recorded 16 or more sacks in 4 different seasons while batting down passes at the line of scrimmage and even catching touchdowns on offense. At his absolute peak, Watt was the most disruptive player in the sport, and the Texans built their entire defensive identity around what he could do when nobody could stop him. Bruce Smith finished his career.
That nigga nose is fucked up that game.
The most in NFL history. He earned 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards and played across 4 different Bills teams that went to consecutive Super Bowls. Lastly is the guy who just broke the sack record in Myles Garrett, being the only active player here on this level. He had 23 sacks for the Browns this season and consistently produces double-digit sacks even when teams are scheming specifically to slow him down. He has the kind of first
he just broke the record.
Off the edge that offensive tackles lose sleep during the season. His career is still being written today, but enough of it is already on paper to see exactly where he lands in history.
Not to mention, this nigga just got traded to the fucking Rams. That's not even fair. I keep it a buck. Like, come on, bro.
Now goes the D-line. Aaron Donald spent 10 seasons as an interior defensive.
And then you got this nigga in the same fucking Mount Rushmore, and he was talking about coming out of retirement to go play with this nigga. Come on, dog.
Lineman and won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Can't let them niggas do that,
with
man.
111 career sacks, which is a number that interior linemen almost never reach because the double teams come faster and the gaps are much smaller. Donald beat those double teams routinely because he was so quick off the snap and so strong through contact. Single blocking him was never a realistic option for an offense, and even 2 blockers weren't a guaranteed solution to stop the problems he created. Mean Joe Green was the heart of the Steel Curtain defense. The Pittsburgh dynasty of the 1970s ran through that defense, and the defense ran through Green. He won 4 Super Bowls and 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards while making everyone around him better just by being on the field. Opposing offenses spent so much of their game plan preparing for him that it opened up opportunities for the rest of the line. Alan Page won the NFL MVP in 1971 as a
look at that
tackle.
motherfucking helmet.
That remains the first and only time a defensive lineman has ever taken home that award. He earned 9 Pro Bowls and provided the kind of disruptive force that changed how teams valued the interior pass rush. Before him, that kind of pressure was seen as a luxury, but he turned teams valued the interior pass rush.
Look at this nigga. What the fuck? Yo, you good, gang?
Before him, that kind of pressure was
that nigga hurt,
but he turned it into a requirement for a championship defense.
Yo, them niggas ain't had no crazy pass back in the gap.
Sirloq is the name that generates the most discussion on this list, but that's exactly why he's here. 2-gap nose tackles don't usually show up in the sack totals, but Vince Wilfork controlled the line of scrimmage in a way that freed up everyone else around him to make plays.
Yeah.
New England defense during his peak years reflected his dominance, and the eye test
he was big as fuck. He was too big.
For the linebackers, I only did middle linebackers, but shout out to all the off-ball linebackers that would have made it here, like Derrick Brooks. Dick Butkus played 9 seasons and made 8 Pro Bowls during
just middle linebackers.
People measured linebackers by
all right, the linebackers.
How often they found the ball.
Yeah,
the reason every conversation about the position
I don't know who this is.
Isn't just about the stats, but rather the fact that he established a standard before anyone else even had a chance to define it. He played middle linebacker like it was a personal grudge, and while coaches tried to bottle up that ferocity into other teammates and other coaches and other players throughout the years, they mostly failed because what Butkus had wasn't a technique you could learn. It was a disposition that lived in his gut, and every linebacker since has been measured up to him, and they will never come close. Jack Lambert served as the emotional heart of the Steel Curtain defense, and his 6th
another Steeler, huh? Oh, damn, he ain't got no motherfucking teeth.
Award proved just how dominant he really was.
He probably lost all them teeth playing football too.
A physical presence to the middle of that unit that made the Pittsburgh dynasty
either that or he was fighting.
Certainty. And he
no in
played
between.
With controlled aggression that kept every single teammate locked into their assignment. The Steelers won back-to-back championships in the mid-70s because of what Lambert produced on the field. But his legacy is also built on the impossible standards he demanded from the guy standing next to him. Ray Lewis is the most complete linebacker to ever put on a helmet.
Ray Lewis, I'm not surprised at all.
He won 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards and 2 Super Bowls while leading the league in tackles during 3 different seasons. He played 17 years and stayed elite well into his mid-30s, which is almost unheard of at a position that usually breaks bodies down much faster than that. He had a gift for diagnosing plays before the ball was even snapped, and he used a shedding technique that looked
Jesus
effortless from the
Christ.
nosebleed seats while he communicated the entire defensive structure on every single down. His impact on the identity of the Baltimore Ravens wasn't just about the numbers he put up, but rather the way he fundamentally changed how the defense
Ocho, no.
the numbers he put up.
He did that on Ocho.
Fundamentally changed how the
Yo, this will be flagged like crazy today.
The Baltimore Ravens wasn't just about the numbers he put up, but rather the way he fundamentally changed how
See Ocho bald head.
Luke Kuechly walked away from the game at only 28 years
Luke
old.
Kuechly was a monster, bro.
Into 8 seasons to earn him a spot.
I'll never forget Luke Kuechly, bro. Facing him twice a year.
He won Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
Retired too early, bro.
Selections. And his processing speed was so fast that opponents often described it as genuinely unsettling. Kuechly saw things developing on the field 3 seconds before anyone else did. In the NFL, 3 seconds is usually the difference between a tackle for loss and a huge gain. He represents the modern answer to what happens when pure instinct and obsessive preparation lives in the same body. And his career is a masterclass in playing the game with your mind just as much as your shoulders. Now we get to the most fun part, which is the DBs.
Okay.
Cornerback has to belong to Deion Sanders first.
Yup, prime.
First and foremost, because he didn't just cover wide receivers, he made them irrelevant for 60 minutes. Sanders played both sides of the ball and appeared in both a Super Bowl and a World Series, winning Defensive Player of the Year that year, which is a level of athleticism we might never see again in our lifetime. He changed how the entire league valued the cornerback position by turning it from a reactive job into a shutdown weapon that could delete half of the field from an opponent's game plan. With 12 Pro Bowls and 8 All-Pro selections, his mere presence on the roster forced offensive coordinators to
this nigga just threw a fucking ham sandwich.
His mere presence on the roster
that was a bad route by the wide receiver.
Rethink their entire personnel packages before the week of practice even started. Champ Bailey earned 12 Pro Bowls and possessed the technical
Champ Bailey?
Every single coverage scheme at an
I'm with that. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good one.
But during that exact same era, Darrelle Revis had a 5-year stretch where he was simply the best cornerback on the planet, and he would shadow the best receiver.
Revis was that boy. Revis was that boy.
On the other team, regardless of where they lined up. Revis Island wasn't just a clever nickname for a marketing campaign, but was a real place on the field where the league's best targets went and completely disappeared for the entire afternoon. Charles Woodson rounds out this group with a career that covered cornerback and safety at a Hall of Fame level for 18 years. And
I don't know about
the
bro.
Player ever to win a Heisman, a Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year trophy on his mantle. Speaking of safety, we have the best of all time first up. Ed Reed had a way of turning interceptions into offensive weapons.
Ed Reed, crazy.
Career picks were
we got the safeties.
That made quarterbacks terrified to throw passes they had practiced 1,000 times. He was all over the field and the most feared safety of all time, according to both Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Ronnie Lott was just as versatile, playing cornerback, strong safety, and free safety across 6
Ronnie Lott, I only know about bro because mad.
Interceptions and 4 Super Bowl
your dog though.
The man loved the game so much he amputated his own finger just to keep playing. Brian Dawkins was a different kind of monster who finished his career with 37 picks and 36 sacks.
Amputated his own finger.
The only safety in the history of the league to hit at least 20 in both those categories. Troy Polamalu used his instincts to make the Steelers' defense a nightmare to scheme against.
Nah, New Gen knows this nigga as fucking the Head and Shoulders guy. This nigga's a monster, bro.
Because he moved before the snap in ways that coordinators couldn't predict. He won 2 Super Bowls and the 2010 Defensive Player of the Year award by playing a style of football that looked different every single Sunday. But lastly,
hey, he looked like he was big too, like a linebacker.
Only one group left to talk about, and those are the specialists. Specialists don't usually get all the respect that they deserve, and that's going to stay true here because we're only going to be going over 2 kickers, 1 punter, and 1 return specialist. Justin Tucker was the most
return specialist. I say Percy.
Most accurate kicker of all time, but now he's one of the most accurate kickers of all time in NFL history at 89.1%.
Justin Tucker, keep this man far away from the massage parlors.
The record for the longest field goal ever made at 66 yards. The man was automatic for nearly a decade and a half, and he had to get nasty in the Baltimore massage clubs. Adam Vinatieri won 4 Super Bowls and personally made the kicks that decided 2 of those championships. His entire legacy is built on the fact that he performed his best when the season was on the line, which is the most direct definition of being clutch that sports allows. He has more game-winning field goals in the playoffs than anyone else who has ever held that job, and the kind of reliability under pressure is why he's a legend. Ray Guy was the first pure punter to ever be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and his career changed how teams looked at field position as a strategic weapon. The coffin corner punt became a staple because of him. The last person here is the greatest returner of all time.
I fucking called it. I said Percy. Devin Hester. I'm a fucking idiot, bro. I'm off the Benjamin right now, so ignore me. Ignore me. Devin Hester, fucking 99 speed, dude.
Becoming the first Hall of Famer based solely on his return ability, having the rules changed completely for him, and holding the record for the most total returns ever with 20. These are the best to ever do it at their position, but I'm sure someone somehow will disagree with something. So there you have it. Watch this next video if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're new.
Hey man, W video, bro. Let me see what he's talking about in the comments. Bro, no Reggie White for the pass rushers is crazy. No Reggie White is diabolical. Dude, how are you an Eagles fan but didn't put Reggie White on here? Seriously. No Antonio Gates is crazy. Yeah. Bro, like a lot of these people, bro, it's hard to make a list for real. Because a lot of these people was great at what they did, bro. Just like how I said with Drew Brees earlier, a lot of people might say Drew Brees. A lot of people might say Peyton. A lot of people might say Eli. A lot of these motherfuckers won games, bro, was fucking elite at their position. So you could swap people out, and that's the beauty of the whole shit. You got your own opinion on the shit and have whatever you want. But I'm not gonna yab too much. It's your boy Lock, man. Make sure y'all tap in on the streams. Make sure y'all like this video. Binge the rest of the videos. It's your boy. We out, man.
I'm getting this cash. I'm getting this shit real fast. I'm leaving you niggas in the past. These diamonds on my ring, they flash.
Hey, got a new bitch that I had to dash.